just wanna feel peace, please. Throw back the curtain, make me feel set free.
Well, the song is called Peace, and couldn't we use a little more of that during these turbulent times? The musician is Lissie, and the newly released video curates clips sent in by her fans showing how they're coping with various forms of lockdown during the pandemic. The good, bad, happy, and sad times, they're all there. It's kind of a soundtrack to 2020, if you will. And Lissie joins me now from Rock Island, Illinois. Thank you so much for joining us here. So the song itself came out in 2018, but this video, collage, all those different snapshots of fans' lives during the pandemic, it's a hopeful video for challenging times. How did it come about?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. In the very early days of quarantine, as shows were getting canceled and I was talking to a lot of my creative friends and just adjusting with the rest of the world to this really, just surreal new reality we were all facing collectively. A good friend of mine, Talon Rain, who is a brilliant director, great friend and collaborator, thought it would be really just a beautiful thing, which it was, to encourage my friends and family and my followers of my music to submit, really honest videos of what lockdown was like for them in the beginning there. And we encouraged people to not only send us, the playful, sweet things, but also maybe some of the more harrowing or challenging or painful parts of it too, to round it out as just kind of this big collective human experience we were all going through together.
What struck me from that experience that I saw there wasn't necessarily the emotional toll it was taking on people across America. It was the small ways we learned to make the unbearable bearable. But your song got me thinking about this. On one hand, we're living through this fairly communal, shared experience. On the other hand, what we're seeing, all the individualism, lack of social cohesion that's being highlighted by the pandemic. It's never been more keenly apparent. So after having gone through this process of gathering all these unifying, uniting moments for this video, are you more hopeful now about this country than you were in 2018 when the actual song came out, or less?
Yeah, well, I think what's so interesting about these times is I think that we're all personally grieving and struggling and navigating, while we're also kind of on another level all doing that collectively. So at the time I wrote the song, it's just a general longing in my own life of just trying to have more presence and peace and surrender when I have a heavy heart. But in the context of this song, I think it's hopeful because I think one thing I've witnessed through this video and just since COVID has changed all of our lives is people really, spending time with their families, spending time in nature, remembering those simpler kinds of really soul satisfying things that maybe we don't have the opportunity to do because of other obligations or the hectic pace of life. And if there is any bright side, seeing people get outdoors and move their bodies and play with their kids and make art and maybe finding some time. So I think that everyone has really had to confront themselves in one way, shape, or form. And I'd like to think that we will have grown and reconnected to some lost parts of ourselves, possibly.
Well, I think we'll leave it on that optimistic note. Thank you so much for talking to us. It's certainly that moment of calm and optimism that we need. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope people enjoy the video and just stay strong out there. I think we're more resilient than we realize, and we'll get through all this.